Good morning. My name is Lois Friend and you are Stamping with a Friend. Today is Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. And today I will be showing you 3 cards that we made in our March in-person class, and the girls seem to have a lot of fun with these cards. We will be, these cards are featured in our current occasions catalog, and it is from the Sweet Bugs collection. Cute as a Bug, excuse me. Cute as a Bug selection, and it is in this mini catalog that runs from January through April. You have a couple of weeks yet to order from this. This catalog ends May 4th. And along with that, our annual catalog, which is the last annual catalog that Stampin' Up! will publish. It expires also on May 4th, 2026. So you have a few more weeks to order from this catalog and this catalog. But never fear, there is a new catalog coming out. I don't have it in my hands yet, but it's on the way. I have seen the online version, and I have, as a demonstrator, I am allowed to pre-order. So I've got some things coming later this week, and hopefully I'll be able to show you as I open my box and get ready to start the new Stampin' Up! Catalog. They have decided, I mentioned that they are no longer doing annual catalogs. Starting with the next catalog, I think it's May to August, they will be doing 3 catalogs a year, and they're going to be just a little bit bigger than our occasions and smaller than the annual catalog. There'll be about 90 pages, and it will feature new products and all of our core products, like our paper, our cardstock, our alcohol markers, all the stamping essentials. And I think that's everything that I need to talk about. I tried to do some of the stuff for this class ahead of time, because these cards did take a little extra time, but they were worth the time. So these are the 3 cards that we will be making. And I think they're all just really, really special. When I first saw this set in the catalog, I ordered it immediately. It was an impulse buy. I saw the little caterpillar, and I thought of my 5-year-old granddaughter who loves the hungry caterpillar. So I ordered it. And then I thought to myself, what am I going to do with that? It's, I'm going to make 1 card for my granddaughter and then put it on the shelf. But then I started seeing amazing demonstrations online, and then I did a online retreat, and I saw all of these pretty ideas that were more than just the hungry caterpillar. So this suite, like I mentioned, is in our current January to April catalog, and I got it all. The stamps, the dies, the designer series paper. It is amazing. And some of as you'll see as we progress along, you'll see some of the paper has die cuts to go with the paper. I love this set. And let me see. Oh, and then also these cute little epoxy ladybugs and embellishments. However, right now, those are currently on the unavailable inventory. They are planning on getting more. Hopefully by the end of April, they will have restocked. I hope so, because I have a lot of customers waiting for them. So, all right, I will go ahead. We're going to get started on our first card. And it is just a basic happy birthday card. And I went ahead, I did go ahead and embossed the top layer. I used the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. And so in the essence of time, I went ahead and emboss that. All right, I'll get that glued on. I'm a little bit discombobulated this morning, but what else is new? I've been out of town and I'm trying to catch up this week. I came back, I was gone for 2 weeks, and I came back last Thursday and I hit the ground running. And now this week, busy with Holy Week events and all the things. So I'm trying to catch up. And I will post measurements and directions on the, they'll be in the comments, or they'll be attached when I post the video. See, this is pretty even on the back side. It's got the mushrooms, but I love the red and white gingham. It reminds me of summer picnics and all the things that come along with summer. And after this cold, harsh winter we've had, I am so ready for all things summer. Now with this circle, I used the Spotlight on Nature dies, which by now you've probably realized that is one of my favorite dies. I use it time and time and time again. Stamp the happy birthday. This is a very easy, quick card. Now, I am going to, whoops, I got a little blob. So let's, I think it'll be okay. I'm going to soften the sides a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to stay in the camera. After all this time doing videos, I still have problems videoing. I'm not a videographer. You can see I used a scrap from an oops. All right. Glue that down. And then I have a couple of the die cuts, or from the paper. And we'll pop those up. I know I have dimensionals here somewhere. I'm going to pop those up a little bit. With our Stampin' Dimensionals. And this little ant is celebrating with his little horn. And we're going to top it off with a ladybug. And we'll use a couple of these. All right, easy peasy. So that is just a quick little card with some basics. All right, now the next two cards are going to take just a little bit more time. There's a lot of pieces and parts. Whoops. And this design and the next design, I learned how to do these in a retreat, an online retreat that I took some time back. And they were designed by demonstrator Emma Goddard. And she is, I think, if I remember right, she's from New Zealand, Australia. I can't remember, but she had these amazing little cards, and I just love them. So, all right. There's lots of pieces, lots of parts. So we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and attach this Poppy Parade cardstock to the card front. And this piece of designer series paper goes next. And as I said, all the measurements and all the pieces and parts of this card are will be in the directions. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to color with our alcohol blends all of the stems. And I'll try not to get my head in the and I know you probably don't need to see me color, but let's do the brush tip. That will go a little bit faster. And you don't have to worry about making sure you get it all, because all pieces colored. And it does go fast. And I need 2 more of those. And if I was very techy and knew how to do it, I would speed the camera up, but I don't know how to do all of that. So sorry, as boring as it is, I guess you'll just have to watch me color. All right, now the mushroom bases, I am coloring with the light crumb cake. And you don't have to worry about going clear to the top, because the red, the caps will cover that up when it's all assembled. Those caps will cover up the top. And as you can see, I'm not being particularly neat, but somehow it all comes together. Okay, one more. Looks like my crumb cake is getting a little bit low on ink. My markers, Stampin' Right, or my alcohol blends, they get used a lot because I do use them in class. All right, now let's do the flowers. And those I'm using dark petal pink. I had one left over from another one, so I just okay. Now for the mushrooms, does anybody else call them toadstools? When I was a kid, we called those things toadstools. I don't know. Is there a difference? I really don't know. So the mushrooms, toadstools, the caps, whatever, they are cut in Poppy Parade. But to give them a little bit of depth, we're using the Real Red dauber just on the top to give them a little bit of shading. And it adds just a little bit of dimension, or it makes it look like the light is shining on them a little different. I'm not an artist in any way, and I don't understand all of the ideas of shading and where the sun is setting and all of that. But I do know that just set these off really, really nicely. Okay, now we're going to assemble. Whoops, I just now remembered. Those are, well, I'll do it this way. Those caps are attached, supposed to be attached with the dimensionals. There again, it gives it just a little depth on the card. So one being glued down will be fine. Okay. And I have 3 small mushrooms. There it is. All right, now we have all of those pieces and parts, and it is time. Let's see, this is the larger one. These are very close, and you would not have to have both if you want, but I liked the little border around it. It just gave it a little bit of border around. So it's a personal preference. So all right, we're going to do our Lily of the Valley right in the center, and I'm using Memento Black, and that brings me to a point that they are Stampin' Up! With the new catalog. There will be a new black stamp pad that will take the place of the Memento, and it's you can use it with alcohol or the regular regular inks. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's something that I have ordered and will be coming with my order when it comes later this week. A little bit more versatile. And what it's taking place, it will take the place of the Memento ink and the StazOn. So it sounds like, you know, one and done. Okay, now we need some mushrooms. Again, I'm just going to randomly stamp. And let's put a little bit of grass. A lot of this will be covered up, but you will be able to see some. All right. Oops. Just color the caps. And this is Puppy Parade, the dark. And this is the crumb cake. We need a little color in our grass. A little darker. Give it some depth and shading. And we'll color our flower yellow. You won't be able to see it once you start building. All right, now here we go. I'll lay these out a little bit, and no, I want to do the mushrooms first. Do those first. One big, one small, one big, and two small. Okay, put those down, and we'll probably trim off some of the bottom. Get the main. And there's no particular right or wrong way for placement. Okay, now we'll do some flowers. And we don't have to use all of this. I It is a personal. I'll trim that off when I'm all done and have it all figured out. And okay, now I'm going to use some dimensionals for the flowers. I hope I'm staying in the camera. Okay, put that there. And right there. Little one right there. And I'm going to trim this off. And I'm going to put that leaf right there. And put my final flower. Where do I want it? Maybe I don't need it. I might not need it. What do you think? I think I'll let it go. I think it's good. I have an extra flower for another day, another card. All right, so this one is the one for underneath. You can see I'm using the front side of an oops. And this is why I like to use the glue, because it's forgiving and it allows you some leeway. And then we put that on there. On top. Oops, I need to cut these off, don't I? Okay, and we use the Sentiment Spread Joy. And you can't spread too much of that, can you? All right, and I'm just going to fussy cut that. I'm not a great fussy cutter, but I'm getting a little bit better. And this isn't too hard. And you wouldn't have to fussy cut. You could actually put the saying on the top, or you could use a punch or a die cut that you have that would work. Not perfect, but it'll be fine. And one more. And there you have it. Spread Joy. And probably, why don't we, I think I'll do one of these little die cut Lily of the Valley. Put that inside. I have a couple little die cut mushrooms. And there. It's ready to be signed and mailed. So we have 2 cards. Now the third one, I've done a lot of the coloring to start with because you all know how to color. So I did most of these little strips. I am going to do one just to give you the idea of how I did it, because these are very small panels. I'm going to stamp this one. And the gal that demonstrated these that I watched, she said, yes, you could do one piece of cardstock and cut and stamp it and then cut it down. However, you can't be decisive about your design. So, you know, depending on where you stamp it, you might get your ladybug cut in half or something. So this is being more direct and decisive as to where you want your design. And takes a little extra time perhaps, but I liked the outcome. So I'm just going to stamp that. And again, there is no right or wrong way to stamp. It's however you design. If you don't have the ladybugs, I imagine if you're watching this, you have a stash of something that you can use rather than this. Use what you have. With products coming and going so fast, as a demonstrator, I'm trying to be more, I don't know how to put it, but think about what I'm going to use them for and all before I buy them. Don't get me wrong, I want it all, but that's not even possible to get it all, or at least not for me. I just love what I do, and I love the friendships and all of the joy that I've seen since I started this. Almost, wow, it's hard to believe. It's almost been 19 years that I've been doing this, and for me, it's really never been about the sales. Now, don't get me wrong. I love to support my habit, and the sales are great. But for me, it's been the friendships that have been developed over all these years. Okay. Now, we're ready to assemble. So, I have 2 pieces of white. One's for the inside and one's for the front. And then this one's for the front. Something I also, that the demonstrator that demonstrated these cards, she showed us a little trick, and I really think that it's really neat. I didn't do that yet, but she took, after she had it all stamped, she took her, oops, uh-oh. She took her pool party and just ran it, it's about dry, She just ran it around each of the designs. And you can see my pool party is dry, so I'm gonna have to back up and think. So, but you can see it on maybe. She took the pool party around all the designs, and that just kind of gave it a nice background, and it brought it out so that you really see the designs. She did that on all of her colored pieces, and that was I had never seen that done, but I was really impressed. I really like that. So I'm gonna have to get my other. I think I have a spare. So now it's time to put your strips together. And a lot of these were cut in an 1/8 design, or in an 1/8 measurement. Some of my card makers don't like those 1/8 designs or 1/8 measurements, but now that I've done it a few times, I don't mind it. You know, somewhere I have my other little, oh, there it is. This would also, another way of highlighting and adding a little oomph to the design would be to use Wink of Stella too. I think some of my card makers did that, possibly. They were all different. Even though basically all of them had done the same design, they were all different. They all looked a little bit different. Oops. Anyway, what I was saying was some of my card makers, they prefer going with halves and fourths, not so much 1/8s, but it all worked out. All right, now I'm going to lay this all out. Try to make sure I got it on straight. All right, I think we've about got it. These are all easier cards. A little bit of time consuming because there is so much coloring, but they're really not hard, and I loved every one of them. I don't think I had a favorite. No, I got that just a little bit. Didn't leave quite enough space in between. That's why I like the glue. There we go. All right. And on this one, I put hello friend. You could do that. You can put whatever you want on there. I'm not going to put a sentiment on this one. I need to attach a little bit more glue, but I am going to put some ladybugs. Can you tell I really like these? I had 3 packs and I'm down to about a half a pack, I think. And then these little clear ones, if you put them on some of the dots or some of the flowers, they look like raindrops or dew. All right. And that, my friends, is it. 3 cards, all with the bugs. And I don't think after just looking at all of these, I look at these and I go, that is not childish whatsoever. Who doesn't like to get a fun little card like that? All right, friends, I thank you for bearing with me. I know I've been a little bit, like I said, I've been a little discombobulated trying to get back into my routine, and it hasn't been as easy. I'm older. It takes a little bit for me to get back into my routine. So with that said, I thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you would like to have any of the products you saw me demonstrate today, or if you just you're just getting into it and have questions and you'd like to order some things to get started, let me know. I would be grateful. So have a great rest of your week. Have a great resurrection weekend. And he is not dead. He is alive. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon.